Hello lovely friends, here's a sneak peek of today's unique poppy piece. This textured art painting is brought to you with love and appreciation. And you might be wondering why I'm saying that today. Today I'm part of a wonderful collab called Grateful Hearts, and it's organised by the amazing Erica from Fluid Art by Erica. So I'm bringing you this unique textured art poppy painting today that I've been working on for some time, and I really love it. It's just made me think about all the things in life that I'm grateful for, and I'm so grateful just to begin with for all my subscribers, my lovely member, and all of the people in this collab which you saw just pop up a minute ago. I'm going to put all of their links to their beautiful creations in my description below, which gets updated as the different videos are aired, so please check it out. Okay, so first of all, this is a deep edge canvas. It's 12 by 16 inch, and I wanted to play with my palette knife today and just make a really nice rich textured base. I don't tend to play with my palette knife too much in this way, and so it was just a lovely experiment playing with the palette knife, creating some raised parts of the canvas, some rough edges and a bit of a horizon, and then just using the palette knife to create that texture all the way around the edge. And as I'm creating this, I'm going to just think about the greens that I want below, because I want that sort of new life and the feeling of shoots. But as I create this piece, I'm also thinking about remembrance and how grateful I am for all the people that lost their lives, the conflicts that have happened in the past and that are still going on, and that's become a big feature of today's piece. I'll explain that as I go along, but it's one of those pieces that was developed as I went along. So all I knew at this stage was I wanted to have a light background with a horizon and a sense of hope, because the last thing that leaves us as a human being is that sense of hope. And I wanted to create almost a screenshot through which you can see this new life, you can see what the poppies represent, and every single colour of every single flag in the whole world is included in the colours of this painting. So I looked up all the different colours of the flags, and most of the flags are made up of red, white and blue, and there are different gradients of that, and there are lots of other different colours as well, like silver, purple, yellow, and so I've added them in really subtle ways. And so as you go through this video today, it could be fun to just spot, what the different colours are, which country you're from, which country is your flag, which country do you identify as your home. Because as the world becomes more and more connected, we're all one, and this painting today is representing us all as humanity. That's a big ask, isn't it? But that's what was going through my mind as I was painting this, and I wanted to get all of the colours in some way. So I'm just finishing off the textured base, and I'm really enjoying adding that white, and I can see where the horizon line's going to be. And already I'm thinking, where am I going to place the poppies? How am I going to make them come forward? How I'm going to create 3D texture? So I was inspired by the wonderful AB Creative, and I'm going to put the link to the video that I was inspired by. She does quite a few poppy paintings, and there's one in particular that I was really drawn to and inspired by, so I'll pop that in the description at the end. So I left this to dry, and then while I did that, I started to create the textured paint skins of the poppies. Now this is a darker red, and I'm not going to put the colours in today because there's so many different colours that I used. You can use a real range of different colours. I mean, this is the Alizarin hue, and I've got my iridescent red from Pebeo, but you can use whatever colours you want. And the reason why I'm saying that at this stage, as I add my iridescent orange and my gold and then a bit of black in the middle, is because I did a second layer of skins. As I noticed with poppies, they have more than one skin, and I wanted it to be a bit more 3D, and for the darker skins to be at the outside. You know, when a flower starts to darken and die off, it tends to be darker on the outside. On the inside, it tends to be more red, lighter red. And for me, even though the poppies come in lots of different colours, I wanted a lighter red. So this is the outside skin, and I'll show you a bit later on the lighter red that I did. So these are now dried. It took 24 hours for these to dry, and they're my first paint skins that I've done. I said to a friend the other day, I've got these paint skins. She said, oh, what's a paint skin? So she's going to look at this video and realise what they are. So this is an acrylic paint skin, and it's literally mixed with the pouring medium that I will pop into the description. So this was a bit of a sensitive flower. Part of it was very, very thin in the middle, so it's quite hard to peel off. But I managed to get them all off, and then I thought about the placement of the different flowers onto the painting. This was actually really, really satisfying, peeling off the paints and looking at how amazing it is that the acrylic paint can dry in this way. This is a silicone matte, and it's the shinier side that I ended up blowing out the little flowers with my straw, and it seems to come off really nicely. So I'm going to try the other side of the sheet as well and see. I've only recently started to use silicone sheets to paint on and to use as a background, because I've noticed that when I film it makes things stand out a bit better. And also it's so versatile. You can just, you know, let the paint dry, rub it off or wash it off, and it's ready to be used again. So I'll have that for a long while, I'd imagine. And at the moment, you can see as I'm picking up my poppies, I'm just trimming them slightly just to give them a bit of a rounded edge, because of course when you do acrylic paint skins, there are parts of the flower that have a slightly frayed edge, so I'm just giving them a bit of a trim. So I'm now going to place my poppies. I just have a general idea of where I'm going to place them. And already I've decided what I'm going to use for the stems. I'm going to use a glue gun. It's one of my favourite things to do, to create with. And I found out by accident when I did my dragonfly recently that when I actually used the glue gun to go down a straight line, it created lots of interesting patterns, and I ended up creating dragonfly legs out of them. And that painting has gone to a very lovely friend of mine called Michelle from Raw River Art, and that was a gift from Kim from Kim's Art Alchemy, and I to her, so she should receive that very shortly. So there we go, we've got the stems that I'm creating now. I did quite a few of them because I thought I could use this for another upcoming project, but also I didn't know the lengths of the stems or anything like that at this stage. So I let them dry, and they took about 10-20 minutes. Brilliant, absolutely fantastic. And also, I don't know if you've noticed when you've used a glue gun, but it leaves almost a slightly lacerated edge, which you get in nature on stems of flowers and on legs of insects. So then I peeled them off, and I started to measure them up and gauge which ones I was going to use. So now I've got the length of the stems already, and I wanted to place the different poppy leaves in different ways, and I was pretty much happy with my composition. So what I needed to do then was trim them off, and then do something that was really satisfying again, dip them in the green paint that I was going to use for the stems. Now this green paint is a gorgeous emerald green, acrylic green. All the paints I'm using today are acrylic, even the spray paints, which I'm going to have a very exciting addition with shortly. So I'm getting my green paint and I'm rolling the dried glue gun stems in the paint. In the end, I decided to just empty out some on the silicone so I could just roll my stem in it. That way as well, I could see the lacerated edge of the glue, but also with the acrylic paint, it was adding a little bit more texture as well. So I'll come back shortly, just enjoy this satisfying part as I roll the glue gun stems in the green paint and let it dry. And I will then come back when I start to do some spray painting and show you how I did that. The painting is now dried, that's the textured base, and I've taken it outside. Doesn't it look lovely? You can see a bit of the purple, white, green and blue. I'm really pleased with that, and I can see where my horizon is going to be. So I got my slightly lacerated mirror, put it upside down, and I'm going to use that to spray paint, and I want a bit of an ombre effect. So I'm going to use some light green for the bottom and some blue for the top, and I also want to have a bit of a spattered effect with the red, which for me is like the blood of life, and it can be quite symbolic in any way that you want it to be. And it's even though Remembrance is about the lives that have been lost, there's always hope and there's always another way. And that's what this painting represents today. So I wanted a bit of everything there, and also for people just to make up their own mind about what they see and what they feel about it. So just using that blue, it's a really gorgeous blue, and I'm layering up the spray paint. I don't want to take too much away from the natural scene. I'm creating a bit of a window through which the poppies are going to be brought forward and made 3D. So I'm just building this up, and in a second I'm going to get my red paint and do some little spits of red. And then I haven't shown this here. It was one of those moments that I didn't record, but I held up the canvas. I put the spray paint, red, white and blue, close to the top of the canvas and allowed it to strip down. And for me, that represents the different colours, the different flags, and also all the tendrils of different plants that do tend to dangle down in a more of a jungle-like feeling. I know a lot of people like to have their shoots coming out from the bottom, but as I had the stems coming out from the bottom, I wanted something to be dangling down, so it was almost a different feeling of connection. So yeah, I've done my red spits, which you can't really see in the final one. You can see there now in the back that the red, white and blue. So I wanted to fade it away a little bit with some more blue. I didn't want it to be that obvious, because if you think about the countries that are red, white and blue, there are a few of them, but when you think even deeper about it, there are lots and lots of them, and other countries have gradients of it. So I used a bit of gold there around the bottom as well, because what I'm trying to do is add a bit of yellow gold and gold to give that feeling of hope, as well as to represent one of the other colours of one of the flags. So I'm placing my poppies now, and I'm just thinking where I placed them before, and I've got the exact measurements of the stems for the poppies. So as I place them, I'm just really trying to get all the poppies within that circle range, but also not make it too within it. It wants to overlap a little bit, so you get that effect of the poppies being brought forward. And then when you look at it as a whole at the end, you know, it's up to you what you see, but I don't see a lot of the detail because it's just there naturally. I'm going to have a lot of fun in a second with different texture and adding things using different patterned paper and that sort of thing. So I'll come back shortly when I'm about to show you. I haven't shown you how I've created the texture, which will appear in a second, but can you see around the edge where the yellow is at the bottom? I've put patterned gold bits using textured piece of paper, packaging. I've used bubble wrap, all of these different textures to create a lovely frame, dabbing it around with gold at the bottom. And then at the top half of this canvas, I've created silver and pearl effects, highlights on top of it, all the way around. So what I'm doing here is I'm literally using bits of gold skin and bits of the green skin that dried. You know, when I had the dipping of the stems in the green, I put that down and it created a bit of a skin, so I thought I'd use that skin as well. This is the second layer of poppies. Can you see how much brighter they are? For me, that's a poppy colour for sure in the UK, which is where I'm from. Yeah, so I'm just now giving it a bit of an aura by adding some pearl white and a little bit of gold, and just using a bit of a wet wipe to blend that in nicely. You can see that I've layered the poppies now on top of the dark red ones, and that's how they were before. But I wanted to take it back a stage to show you how I did the frame. So I'm using this. You might be familiar with this. It's like this is one of my favourite colours. I use a fluorescent yellow yellow green, and I also used gold. My golden, it's my favourite, is fine, very light gold, and I'm using this to pattern it, and just use my finger just to spread it on there to add to the highlights, to the bright bottom part of the painting. And you can use absolutely anything. I also use, which isn't on film here, the bubble wrap. So I go around the whole of the bottom frame using yellow and gold, and then in a minute I'm going to be using a tiny bit of pink and pearl on the top half of the painting. Can you see how lovely it is, and how I'm getting this sort of effect of lines, very, very light lines, all the way around the frame, the bottom frame of the painting. So as I carry on doing this for a moment, I just want to say what I am grateful for. I'm grateful for my husband, my partner in life, my confidant, my support system. I'm grateful for our loved ones. They fill my life with love, laughter and joy. I'm grateful for my friends. They're always there for me to listen, support and celebrate with me. And I hope I do the same to them too. My art community, you provide a space to express myself creatively, and I love connecting with others and sharing our passions together. And thank you to my lovely subscribers. You value the content and support my work, and I really do appreciate it so very much. If you think about what you're grateful for in life, what are you grateful for today? I just think about the strength and resilience that comes with overcoming the challenges and adversity that we can have every day or periods in our lives. The ability to nurture and care for others, both physically and emotionally. And the power to create and bring new life into the world in whatever form that takes. The unique perspective and experiences that come with being a woman is just absolutely amazing. And the opportunity to connect with other women and build strong bonds of support and understanding. I'm grateful for the ability to advocate for myself and others and to make a difference in the world. And I'm grateful for my strength and my intuition and the ability to trust my gut instincts. The power of my voice and the ability to express myself creativity is so very important to me. And I love it when I see that in others and other people using their voice to say what they really feel and what they really mean. The ability to balance multiple roles and responsibilities with grace and determination, and the opportunity to learn and grow from my experiences, both positive and negative. And I think that we share that as women and men, we share that as humanity. And my wish for today is that you find what you're grateful for in life, and that you have the life that you deserve. So thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate you sharing this journey. Thank you so much to Erica from the Spotlight. Thank you to my lovely collaborators, and I'll put the links to all of the people that are in this collab today in the description below, as well as the video that inspired this one today. This one is for sale, as most of my art is, and I just want to say thank you for being here today. Thank you for all your support. Don't forget that your art is a piece of you, and I hope to see you again soon. Take care now. Bye.